Good afternoon. In the last class, we were talking about uh, the types of controllers such as P, I, and D. Uh, how mathematically through transfer function we can integrate with in a closed loop framework. Today we are going to discuss how these P and IDs are actually physically uh, they are related to the electrical circuits, such as they are made up of op amps. What we have studied earlier, we are going to see things a bit in details. Essentially, this P controller is the combination of summing amplifier and the inverter. So let us recall what uh, these two things are related to the electrical circuits. So this is how the summing amplifier would look like. So we have two resistances here. We are going to add these two. Let's suppose this is my R2 and this is my R1. This is my V1, this is my V2. Okay, maybe I have swapped it, doesn't matter. And this is fed through the negative terminal, and the positive terminal is connected to V0. This thing is connected to feedback resistance RF, and so this is how your summing amplifier looks like, this whole block. This is connected to an inverter. So the inverter looks like some resistance R, connected to another op amp in this manner. So if we choose here, so this particular thing is an inverter and this is an amplifier. The combination of these two will give me essentially a P controller. So P controller, what it does, so P is the proportional controller. So higher the error, higher the K would be needed to control it. So let us see how actually V out, how it is associated with the Kp. So let's see. So here V out is equal to minus Rf from here. This V out I'm talking about, let's suppose V out dash. So V out dash is Rf times V1 by R2 plus V2 by R1. And if we design this RF in such a way that we keep RF as this same resistance, we get V out dash as minus R2 upon R1 times V2 minus V1. Okay, and now this thing is being again fed through this inverter block, this inverter block. So inverting means this V out is going to be inverted. So this V out particularly is equal to minus of V out dash. So essentially it will be R2 by R1 times V2 plus V1. So we can see here this is nothing but some constant Kp, and this is what we need it. When we pass things, we want some gain to be multiplied with V2. That is what it is being done. So as you can see it here, we want some sort of gain just to be multiplied with the voltage, and this is what is happening here. So the idea behind this proportional controller is it produces control action proportional to the error. Now let us see how the derivative control D controller or the derivative in reality, how does it look like? So essentially this D controller is a combination of differentiator with inverter. So we can recall our differentiator block that is being made through op-amps in this manner. R1, some capacitance, so feedback resistance, some R2, this is my negative terminal, positive, and this is 0, and this is in conjunction with the same inverter what we have talked in the previous block. Some resistance R and V out. So this is your differentiator block, this is your inverter block. We are not going to go into this much details, but we will just follow a pattern, and we'll see how the op-amps in several combinations can be clubbed together to achieve some purposeful controller to get some proper control action. So because of this differentiation block here, the control output is essentially KD times, KD will be function of some RNC's values. Okay, we will not go into that details, we will just follow that. Okay, yes, it's a combination of these two, and it was this combination of these two, this controller. So these things are you will be seeking in more details in your electronics courses. So this KD times dE by dt essentially. And here the control output where Kp times Et. So after controller you will get your error is being multiplied with this Kp function, and after this controller, let's suppose this whole as a controller. After this control signal you will get the signal will be seen as differentiation of your error signal times Kd. This is what you get after this control action. So one thing to note in this particular control framework is it doesn't work for steady state error. Why? At steady state things goes essentially your slope of error is essentially 0. So this wouldn't give any. So since your error is not changing with time at steady state, so this control output will also be not be there. So these D controller are often used in the combination of P and D. So this is what a new block called PD controller is often used. In conjunction with P and D it works, and we'll see how all these blocks affects your error in a short while. And the last block we'll talk about is the integrator. Or I controller. And this is a combination of integrator along with summing amplifier, not the inverter. So this is how it looks like when we talk in terms of op-amps or real circuits. This is some resistance, this is your capacitance, negative, positive, V0 in conjunction with summing amplifier. This some R, some another R is added with some feedback resistance R again with this gain, positive, negative, and this is your V out. This is how the circuit diagram of integrator controller would look like. And after this integration, you will get Ki edt, integration of edt. So control output is equal to, you get something like this. And again, this is not alone it is being used, we'll see in a while. So it is essentially, this thing is being like PD controllers, like D controllers, it is also not used alone. These I controllers are often again used in combination with P controllers. So a new block called PI controller we'll see through pictorially. If let's suppose I have error as a function of time. I'm plotting. So let's suppose do I have another pen?